Okay. Uh, Somebody wrote me a message concerning like a video I did entitled "How Where the Con Job Are You?" It is regarding like conspiracy theorists getting hung up on one particular word or phrase or such. You know, I mean, it's like I can understand where a lot of them get their theories from because, I look at the evidence that's offered, and I mean, it's hard to refute history that is continuously being attempted to be stamped out. I mean, let's look at the Civil War. I mean, I bet most of you think that it was over slavery when slavery really had maybe about that much to do with it, 1%, if even, and that was only because of the fact that Lincoln made the Proclamation of Emancipation, which freed any slave in the states that were in succession if they had the balls to stand up and refuse to do their master's bidding. Uh, but once that state came back into the union, if the former owner had a bill of sale or some kind of proof that this was a former slave of his, well, he was by the Union forces handed back to his former master to servitude. So he didn't really free anybody. As a matter of fact, Lincoln was a fucking racist. Okay. Uh, the blacks that fought for the North and there was a few that fought for the South. Most of those, about 99% of them, fought because they were offered an opportunity. You fight for this army, and if you survive the war, you're a freed man. It wasn't until the 14th Amendment, I think it was, which was passed after the Civil War, had nothing to do with the Civil War. Okay, that was simply a matter of the South believed that the states were autonomous. They weren't required to abide by a federal governing system. I can understand their point here. It does say that more or less in the Constitution. I can't remember the article, but it basically says that the federal government does not have the power to make laws that supersede local state governments. And the federal government does that against the Constitution. So, hey, anyway, they ran it on about globalization. I got bad news for you people that are anti-globalization. You're about, I don't know what, 15, 20? How long has the internet been in service? About 20 years, 25? Yeah, well anyway, that was it. That was globalization's birth cry. Okay? It was conceived in the mid 40s. 1947, the United Nations came. Actually, I think it was before that with the League of Nations in Europe. But hey, that's my opinion. Okay, but still, the globalization is a done deal. I did hear the Pope the other day call out for the return of Jesus, so maybe you should fight that, huh? Actually, I don't think he wants Jesus to return either. It's would be bad for him because basically people would realize that the Catholic Church has lied to them ever since they were able to stamp out any form of true Christianity. And to those of you that go by the King James Version of the Bible, I got news for you. It's Catholic, okay? It's approved by the Catholic Church. They somewhere along the line, I heard that they finally claimed that certain parts of it are like heretical, but Trust me, okay? When it was scribed by a Catholic priest, okay, as a gift to King James of England. Because, well, other than nobility and the priesthood, nobody else knew how to read or write. And only a king really had any right to go along, to actually read along it with the sermon, okay? It's missing a lot of the shit that's in the Catholic Bible, but that's because it's just a condensed version. It just has certain scriptures that, the king would have been interested in. Okay, anybody else, they do what the priests say. So, I mean, let's take 9/11 for example. Okay, in the United States being the Christian nation. Let me make a quote from the fucking Bible here. Okay, it's like Luke, I think 11 through 17 or some shit. I can't remember exactly where it is. But doesn't Jesus tell you to turn the other cheek, to bless your oppressors, and to wish well to them that would harm you? So when Osama, assuming, okay, now personally I think Osama did it under CIA directive, but let's assume that it was purely Osama and Al-Qaeda and all of them, right? Attack the United States. Shouldn't we have said, Osama, what the hell did we do to offend thee? I mean, just help us to understand so that we can make amends here, We did. Jesus would have. What did the country do? A really Christian act. Bomb Afghanistan! Hell yeah! Yeah, okay. That's the reason why I don't believe in Christianity, okay? I believe that Jesus very well could have been the Messiah, okay? Like even Gandhi had to agree with Jesus, okay? And Gandhi is not Christian. But then again, he has the same problem that I have. I admire Jesus. If what his teachings that were handed down to us are true, I admire him. But I had to test at least 99% of the Christians that I've ever met, because and am I any holier or better than now? No, I'm not. Okay. Even going by Jesus' standards. I can be an extremely wicked person, okay? I do what I have to do. But, so, neither am I a hypocrite either, huh? Which, by the way, you need to learn ancient Greek. Hypocrite is basically actor in ancient Greek. So, again, I worried about something and it's already happened. And you wonder why I think people out there are morons. Sheesh.